This one AI prompt saved me $3,000, and this is the story. One of our businesses, we have to actually go through an audit this year, as this is the first time that we have exceeded certain requirements. Our auditor immediately flagged something, that our balance sheet inventory is different from our inventory audit report, and the difference is $300,000. So that is actually quite a problem. Nobody caught it, not our accountant, and we did not know about it. So we checked with our SAP consultants, and they have mentioned that we were supposed to actually reconcile this report every single month. We have not done it before. So we asked them, so what's the solution? Two different numbers within the same system. So they mentioned that they can assist us with this investigation, but it will be a chargeable consultation, and it will cost us about $3,000. They will assist us in directing our steps as to what to do, but the work itself has to be done by our own team. Hi, my name is Effie. I am a business owner. I do not have a tech background. I am just interested in AI, and this channel is about me experimenting in application of AI in real business situations. Earlier in the week, I have learned about prompt engineering in Claude. Right, Claude is one of the trendy AI tool right now. So I was very interested and I checked it out. So Sabrina thought that when we are interacting with Claude, we have to be specific. We have to do these 5 things. One is that we have to clarify what is the role that Claude is playing right now. So one is role. Number 2 is that we have to clarify what is the task that we want them to do, and give them the context of the situation, the constraints of the situation. Also, and this last one is a very good tip for me, because it says that ask Claude clarifying questions until you are 95% clear. It's just like when we are interacting with our staff, right? So we assume that Claude, we can take Claude as one of our staffs. And when we are interacting with the staff, right, with the junior staff, for example, we have to tell them, so this is what we want you to do, what is your task, and this is the situation, and this is the constraint that we have, and you ask me questions until you are 95% clear on the task that you are supposed to do. So let's start by trying what we have just learned. So the first thing that we have to do is that we would go to Claude.ai. In here, you will see this particular screen, and then you can start with defining the role that you want Claude to play. So we can say that you are the top 0.1% of SAP B1 consultant and expert, and the task that I have here is to help me resolve the issue of inventory discrepancy. For context, I have to briefly summarize what is the issue that I'm facing, and then you can also put in whatever communications that you already have with your consultant, and just to paste it in there so that Claude would have the full picture of what we are facing. Yeah, so that's what I do. I copy and paste it, and then I mention about my constraint, that I have a limited budget and I only have 2 weeks left to audit completion, and the task that I need them to do right now is to find the quickest way for me to resolve this issue. Yeah, and then I also want them to ask me clarifying questions. So the moment I put that in, very quickly Claude came out with various questions that they want to clarify with me. So there's quite a lot of questions. What is the version of SAP that you are on, the valuation method that you are in, they want to know about the discrepancy, the number of warehouses that I have. And as you can see, there are quite a lot of questions, and these are all very pertinent questions, very relevant questions that usually my consultants would also ask these questions, right? So then what we have to do is just to try our very best to answer all of them. And if we do not have the answer or we do not know, we can just say, I'm not quite sure what it is. Yeah. So with this context, right, they are then able to give us even faster solutions as to the, as to the problems that we have. So after answering all the questions, they are asking us to check the balance sheet, the DIY investigation, to pin the year where it started. So that should take 30 minutes as the step 1. And then they also went on to say that we have to identify the month that it will take, right? So it will take 1 to 2 hours, that's the estimate. But look at the step 4. Yeah, the step 4 says that the smoking gun query. So if you have a DB access, SQL access to SAP B1, you could do this. The moment I see SQL, I know that this is actually a shortcut that Claude is giving to us. Because when we run query, we do not need to go through individual steps to identify the year and all that, but it could be done automatically using the queries. But the thing is, I have not done SQL query before. I don't even know where it is. So what I told Claude is that, I think I may have access to SQL, but would you guide me to get there? So when I said that, I put on the screenshot into Claude so that they are able to guide us. So with this instruction, Claude is able to guide us to where it is, and basically I just need to follow step by step. So I managed to find it, and I showed them the screenshot to ask whether this is the correct one. Yeah, and then Claude went on to give me a script as to what to execute. Yeah, so now all I need to do is just to copy whatever was instructed and to put it into the query one by one. Yeah, so it's really a matter of cutting and pasting again, and run the query. And guess what? There was an error in the first run. Do you see the red line here? So I just take a screenshot and send it back to Claude, and Claude is able to fix the issue. And when I run the query once again, we actually managed to find the root cause of the problems. The result of this query is really quite amazing because it immediately lists out for us the list of problematic documents. And with this list, I can resolve our investigation in just 1 day. And basically the problem is that during our receiving, we have inventories that we have not received or invoiced properly. So with this exercise, what is my conclusion? Did AI solve everything completely? Not 100%, but it gave me enough information to have a completely different and much cheaper conversation with my consultant. So how would I score this learning? In terms of learn, it's 3 out of 3 because it's easy to learn. In terms of implementation, it is also pretty much quite easy to implement. And for impact, it is 1 out of 3 because it's such a simple tool. It probably will not have the same kind of effect as to some of those tools that can change your workflow or automate your workflow. A Harvard score of 6 out of 9. So try this framework on one of the problems you may have been putting off. See whether it works. Drop your comments, and see you in the next experiment.